Don't make New Year's resolutions, create systems. I'm Chad Barger, and that's what we're talking about in this week's edition of the Productive Fundraising Weekly Journey. So we all know how it goes with resolutions. We have the best of intentions, we start strong, then, something slips a little bit, it gets hard, that change, and by March, we're right back to doing things exactly how we did them before because it's easy, it's comfortable. So, what's the solution? You can't just say you're going to do something. There has to be action. There has to be a plan. What I like to do is change my system. Change the underlying thing that drives that action. So, if I want to do exercise in the morning, I build it right into my morning routine. If I want to drink more water, I put it on my morning checklist to fill my water bottle before I go. All these little things, I always change the system. You change the system, you change the process, change the trigger, change the habit. That trigger is what I really like to change. Whatever means I'm gonna do this, I change that action, and then it leads to change. It makes it easier. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to constantly remind yourself that I'm gonna do things this way now, not the old way. So change that process system. This same thing holds true in fundraising. Instead of resolving to go on more donor visits in 2018, like we all know we should, go to your calendar and block time for donor visits. Reserve time to make sure that happens, because why don't we go? Our calendar fills up with other stuff. So if we had time blocked both for donor visits and for scheduling donor visits, they would happen. So take that first step. Change the system, change the process, change the trigger. Or, maybe it's the year you're going to start a monthly donor program. Recurring giving helps so much with retention. What's the first step there? Maybe call your database company or credit card processor and see if they have that capability. See if they have a built-in system in a way. Get that ball rolling. Whatever you want to do, find the first step, knock it out of the park. Do it today. Get one thing done that gets that process rolling, then it's going to keep popping up in your email, on your list, in your system. It'll just kind of get it on autopilot, get it moving. It gets past that inertia. Oftentimes the hardest part is just getting something started. You don't have to do a huge chunk of it, just do one thing that gets it moving. Start changing the system. Change the system, do that action. Don't do resolutions. Resolutions are just something we think we have to do at the new year. I don't make resolutions. I change my systems. I change my processes to create lasting change that I'd like to see, both for me personally and in my fundraising. Fundraisers, this is our first post of 2018, so I want to give you one other little heads up. We have a bit of a format change coming in 2018. You'll still get to see me on video. I still love doing this, but every once in a while, there's some things that are just hard to do during video. So every week, you're going to see one piece of new content. So it'll be a new video, maybe a new free download, new resource, some kind of new template or sample, or a new blog post, which will let us go kind of a little longer form, more of a guide type situation where, it would just be like a 10-15 minute video and nobody has time for that. So a quick blog post that you can skim, see the headlines and see if you want to dig in there. So still great weekly content. You're actually going to get new and more content this way because I won't just be regurgitating old things I created a long time ago on video like I do every once in a while if it's a crazy week. Yeah, I admit it. Sorry. But yeah, this is going to give you great new content every week. So we're going to do a video, resource, or blog post. Really looking forward to working with you guys again in 2018. Our new webinar series kicks off next week with our events webinar. Check that out. Love to see you there. And really just looking forward to helping everybody in 2018. 2017 was a great year for productive fundraising, and we can't wait to see what 2018 brings. So Happy New Year, everyone, and happy fundraising. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Productive Fundraising Weekly Journey. You can download the free resources mentioned in this episode at productivefundraising.com/fundraising-resources. That's productivefundraising.com/fundraising-resources. Head on over and give to this week's content a download and check out the other great resources we have there for you. Also, be sure to join the Productive Fundraising exclusive Facebook group, the Fundraising Fish Fry. We're proud to sponsor this group where fundraisers come together to talk about what's working and what isn't in fundraising, because there are so many fundraising fish to fry. Ha ha ha. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Happy fundraising.